Hello, my name's Emma Knott. I'm a Senior Lecturer in Physiotherapy at the University of Huddersfield, and I'm also the Admissions Tutor for Physiotherapy. Tips for interviews are really to think about how you present yourself. A lot of interviewers, without realising it, will make a decision on you within the first 10 minutes, and that's based upon quite subjective things such as your appearance, how you greet them, how polite you are, your interaction with other people within the room. So really think about when you're going for an interview that first couple of minutes and how you present yourself is going to be really important, and as important really as the content of the interview and what you're going to say. We're also looking as interviewers for you to confirm your personal statement. So what we don't want is you to have put something on the personal statement that A, isn't true, or B, that you've exaggerated. We also don't want to have read a personal statement and really wanted to talk to you and invite you to interview, and then you not really talk about that at all at interview. So don't exaggerate, don't lie, and don't try and make things up that make you sound better. Try and think about the things that you've actually done and how is that able to show what sort of person you are. It's also important that despite being very nervous when you go to an interview, which is understandable, that you remain confident and you're honest in what you're saying. What we don't want is somebody who's going to sit there and really show that they're very nervous and aren't able to sell themselves in an interview. And that's your sort of 10-15 minutes to really show why you should be chosen for that particular course or university. But what that doesn't mean is that you should be overconfident and not be able to listen to what you're being asked. So we get some students that are so confident and really want to tell us what they know that they don't actually listen to any of the questions that we're asking them. So take the time to show that you are able to listen as well as talk. We also want to know why you've chosen the university or the particular course as well. And it may be that the reason you've chosen it genuinely is because it's round the corner from your mum or your boyfriend's going, your friend's going. But what we want to know is that you've actually thought about it and made a really good choice. So go on the university website, speak to students that have been before, go to open days. There's always students there that you can ask. Students that can tell me that they've looked at the National Student Survey and that the physiotherapy course that we run at Huddersfield is the top in the country, shows me that they've really made a concerted effort to find out about the university and made a really good, genuine choice. So when I'm thinking about students that I want to offer places to, I want to offer places to students that want to come to the university and are likely to accept my offer. We're also looking as interviewers for you to confirm your personal statement. So what we don't want is you to have put something on the personal statement that A, isn't true, or B, that you've exaggerated. We also don't want to have read a personal statement and really wanted to talk to you and invite you to interview, and then you not really talk about that at all at interview. So don't exaggerate, don't lie, and don't try and make things up that make you sound better. Try and think about the things that you've actually done and how is that able to show what sort of person you are. Use your personal statement wisely as well. If you've put some examples down there that have made us want to talk to you, use them and use those to illustrate some of your skills. So team working skills, time management, study skills, and those are generally questions that we want to ask students from a physiotherapy point of view, but also across the university, because you're going to be an independent adult learner when you go to university, and we want to know that you've thought about that and prepared about it. So using your personal statement or some examples from your personal statement will really show that you've prepared and that you're aware of what we're looking for in a candidate for university. It's also important if you're going for a vocational degree that you're getting some work experience in that area. Now, work experience can be quite difficult to obtain, so it is important that you think about this quite early on and that you're using your summer really productively to arrange this work experience. Quite often with a vocational degree, they will ask you at interview, what experience you've had. And what we're really trying to see is, do you really know what the job entails? Do you really know what you're letting yourself in for? If you've done that work experience, then you can talk about some of those examples. You can talk about the fact that you know what the best sort of day is going to be, but also what the worst day in that job is going to be, and that you're prepared for that. And again, that goes down really well in an interview because it shows you're prepared. So thinking about that first 10 minutes in the interview, appearance is really important, as is attitude. So thinking about how you're going to dress. That doesn't always mean that you have to be suited and booted, but if you do own a suit, it would show that you've really thought about the interview and you're really serious about the choice of course and university. So if you don't own a suit, smart trousers and a shirt, or for women, just thinking about wearing, a blouse and a skirt. That first 10 minutes is really important, and I would say that most interviewers do make a bit of a snapshot decision on somebody that can then sort of hinder your interview process if you've not gone there looking smart, if you've not shook the hand, if you've not been very confident and had the right sort of attitude as soon as you've entered the interview room. It's important that you sell yourself and you are confident, but it's about finding a balance. Somebody that appears very overconfident doesn't look like they're going to be able to use feedback constructively and going to be able to listen to what you're telling them when you're teaching them is also going to be very off-putting. It is very difficult, but if you are doing some group activities, think about finding a balance. Think about trying to be confident, putting your point across, but also listening to the other members of your group. And that shows a really good, balanced individual. I think it's also very important to listen to the question. You are going to be nervous. The interviewers will try and make you as relaxed as possible. But if you're constantly talking about things and going off on a tangent, you're not really showing the interviewer any of the points that they're actually asking. You're not giving them the opportunity to score you highly on that interview. So if you're not sure about what they've asked you, or you're talking and you forget the question, stop and ask them to repeat the question. That's much better than answering a question that they haven't actually asked you. Students that are prepared for interview always come across really well. It always shows if you've put that work in, you've done the research and you've researched your course or had some work experience if it's appropriate. Those students that have rushed and that don't really know why they've chosen the course or why they want to be at that university always come across pretty poorly in an interview situation. So it's really important that you use this summer productively and make sure that you're preparing yourself the best that you possibly can.